Going for freedom.
Yeah.
Teddy bear helmet? Forget it.
No, I don't see anything other than anything out of the ordinary right now. No, we're fighting.
No, not fighting. Hey, they are good guys. They are fighting for peace and for freedom and for democracy. Come on.
Hey, wait, with me.
Yeah, hey, come on.
Come on, right. Good coffee.
Good picture.
Irvin!
Can you go with my camera too, please? Darling, it's so cute. Can I come out?
Pretty calm right now. Not really, but we seem to not be.
Okay, ready? Alright, pretty much, it's started off pretty slow tonight. It was very busy downtown, a lot of people pretty much celebrating the Halloween holiday a day ahead. A lot of drunkenness, a lot of rowdiness, It was pretty tame until I would say the last part of the patrol. You know, what is it with this last part of the patrol shit? But I don't know. It's beyond me. But we were on. It was on Fifth Avenue. We saw some people standing on the sidewalk. And a guy and a girl, they came up and they started confronting these other people. The guy, he started getting really aggressive, and then the girls, they started getting aggressive. Words were exchanged, and then it started some pushing and shoving, and then it started looking like it was going to escalate. Then that's when me and my partner, the Urban Avenger, we stepped in to try to de-escalate the situation before it got worse. We started pushing them back, and momentarily, very briefly, it looked like it was starting to de-escalate, and we thought we would be able to turn them in the other direction, because our goal in something like that is to get them to disperse. But it just bounced right back like a seesaw. The guy started getting more aggressive. I started trying to push him back and saying, back off, let's just stop this. And he started assaulting me, which obviously it was basically a waste of his time and energy, because as soon as he started throwing punches in my head, he basically started punching my, you know, this Kevlar helmet, and started punching my padding and all that stuff, and I didn't feel anything. So I pushed him back, told him to back off. Then, the girls, they started getting into it. We started trying to get them to back off. Then I saw Urban Avenger. He was trying to get this guy to back off, the same guy. He started attacking him, and then that's when things started getting pretty chaotic. Someone from the crowd, they came in and they hit the guy, and the guy that was being aggressive, and then but the guy was still fighting. You know, I saw, and then that's when he was still fighting with Urban Avenger. He started punching him, attacking him, grabbing him, and that's when I decided to pull out my mace pepper gun. I pulled it off the safety and I sprayed him once. He started backing off. Then he started going into a corner, and I just emptied out the whole canister on his face. And then that's when he basically, got a full blast of OC spray in the face, and he stopped fighting. And we were gonna make a citizen's arrest. I think Urban Avenger, he started backing him into the corner. I started backing him into the corner, and we started trying to direct them to call 911, but it didn't look like they were doing. I was, looking for my phone. A lot of adrenaline was still going on, and I was about to call 911 to get the police, but then I saw this guy. He was hurt. It looked like he was hurt. He started bleeding profusely from the head, and then now I decided, okay, now we got to start to try to help this guy. He's no longer the aggressor. Now he's a victim. Now we got to try to help him. And he started walking away, like, leave me alone. His girlfriend said, get him some water. I said, well, he's got to stop first for us to help him. And then someone else from the crowd said he was certified in first aid, and he started helping out. And then I went over to my first aid kit to try to see if I can get some stuff to help plug up his wound. And then I directed Urban Avenger to go to the club next door to get some water. And then the police, they were just right across the street. They came over, and they intervened on the situation. We tried to help and tried to conduct crowd control, but the police decided to tell us that we're no longer needed. We can go ahead and leave. And it was very chaotic. A lot of stuff went on, but that's what I remembered, and that's what I saw. And yeah. I don't think anybody was seriously injured, but I kind of think that there's a lot of things that could have went down a little bit smoother in this situation. I kind of think that me personally, on my end, I tried hard to de-escalate it, to try to talk them down by using verbal judo techniques and just trying to get them to calm down. But in the heat of the battle, they were so upset. They wanted to fight. I should have either A, took them down to the ground a lot quicker, or maced them a lot sooner, instead of. So I think that my response kind of was a little bit delayed. I don't know whether it was because I was exhausted and You know, because it's late and I've had hardly any sleep today, or what. I think that the fatigue factor on my part probably played a role in why I responded the way I did. You know, I think I responded appropriately, but I think I could have done a lot better.
Kind of have to echo a lot of what Mr. Xtreme said. At first I didn't know what was going on, but just suddenly a fight broke out right in front of us, and people were grabbing at each other and pushing and shoving. And we tried our best to get in between them and break them up, and we were telling them to back off, you know, back off. And I grabbed a couple people and pushed them aside and tried to hold them back, but they were just really, really insistent on fighting. And the main aggressor, he was the hardest one to pull out because he kept pushing. I slammed him up against the wall, told him to back off, and I thought he'd calm down, and he just turned right back against us. And at one point he grabbed my hoodie and pulled me back from behind, and I kind of lost my balance a little bit. And he turned back around to try and get him to back off, and he slugged me right here. My shoulder hurts a little bit, but I think I'll be all right. And I wound up getting knocked to the ground, and as I'm getting back up, that's when he got assaulted. I don't know what happened, but he just suddenly like backed off, and Mr. Xtreme sprayed him in the face. And then as I'm getting up, I'm pulling out my stun gun to zap him to get him to comply, and he starts running away. So I chase after him, and I get him into a corner, and I start to try and put him into a citizen's arrest, but he keeps resisting, and I notice he's got blood all over his head, and my attitude just makes a complete 180, and he goes from an assailant who I'm ready to arrest to a victim that needs my assistance. And we tried our best to get him, you know, to get him some water and stuff, and he wound up being helped out, and the police showed up. And while I was trying to look for some water to clean off his head, I ran to some cops, and I'm like, hey man, this guy is bleeding from the head, he needs your help, And they're just like, well, I'm sure they'll take care of it. And they just stood there. The police just stood there as I told them someone was assaulted in the head and bleeding, and they didn't do anything about it. And it was actually just really disappointing for me to see that in a police officer, and you really kind of have to hold them partially accountable for what happened tonight, because they should have responded a little faster instead of just standing around looking like I'm an idiot, basically. And I think he'll be alright. I feel kind of bad that happened to him. I don't care that he assaulted me that much anymore, but he wound up becoming a victim himself, and I'm very deeply sorry for that. And I wish it had not turned out that way. I wish I had been able to react a little bit better and been able to subdue him more peacefully. But what happened, and this is just a learning experience, just like every night is. Thank you.
Also, evildoers beware. This ain't the NFL.